Now notice what he says next here. He says, now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. So you're clean because of the word that I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, live in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, the branch can't produce fruit by itself except that it lives in the vine. If it gets broken off of the vine, it's not going to bear any fruit. No more can you, except you abide in me. So you cannot bear the fruits of the Spirit unless you abide in me and I abide in you through the Holy Spirit. Okay, we talking about the fruits of the Spirit here. I am the vine, you are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me you can do nothing. Now, key there. Without me you can do nothing. Okay? The bearing of the fruit is what allows you to go out and bring in the lost souls. The bearing of the fruits of the Spirit that will be in your heart. Okay? And without those fruits, you can't do anything. Okay? You can't get the fruits without the vine, without Jesus. And then after you get the fruit, and you can't go out and do anything without getting those fruits. So you have to abide in the vine, which is Jesus. Okay? That is being taken care of by the husbandman, which is the farmer, which is God. Okay? If a man abide not in me, so this is the person that does not abide in him, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast into the fire, and they are burned. So therefore, like I said earlier, if that branch doesn't grow fruit and you're just a stick sitting there, God breaks it off, puts it in a pile, and burns it. Okay? i.e. hellfire. The lake of fire. Okay? Now, if you abide in me, my words abide in you. Now that's very key now. If you are part of this, if you're a branch connected to Christ, which is the vine, you can still be broken off, your name blotted out the word of out of the book of life. Okay, so once saved, always saved, or holding you, there's no way you can fall off. There's no way you can fall off if you follow the commandments. And if you know God, and the fruits, and you grow fruits, the fruits of the Spirit grow in you, like he just said. If you don't have the fruits, we're gonna break you off, and you're gonna go into the lake of fire, because there's no need for you. Okay, so he's not talking about people in the world that are branches. No, he's talking about Christians, followers. Let's go. Let's keep going in this word, because this is very, very important. Now, if you abide in me, if you live in me, and my words abide in you, my words live in you. David said, I will hide your words in my heart so I cannot sin against you. Okay? So I cannot sin against you. So if my words abide in you, you shall ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. So if I'm in you, and you're abiding with me, which is following my commandments, anything you ask, I'll do it unto you. You ask and it'll be done unto you, but according to the will of God, of course. Herein is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit. This is how you glorify the Father, by bearing much fruit. What is the fruit? The fruits of the Spirit. So shall you be my disciples. So once again, he said before, if you love me, that is the way that people will be able to tell that you are my disciple. Now he's saying, this is how, he's saying, herein is my Father glorified. The Father is glorified when we bear fruit. So shall you be my disciples. Also, this is how you should be my disciples. This is how people will be able to know that you are my followers. You are my students. As the Father have loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. Wow, right after that he says it. You see? He says it. As the Father have loved me, so I have loved you. Okay? So you continue in my love. You continue in my character and nature of love, that unconditional love. This is what we have to put forth as Christians. If you keep my commandments, you shall abide in my love. So if you keep my commandments, you will live in my love. Even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. Jesus going to the cross, the spirit behind that was love. The act of love was behind that. All fruits of the spirit was behind that. Okay? Now, these things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you. Joy is another fruit of the spirit. I mean, this is very clear. Now, these things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you. In you. You see? In you. And your joy might be full. So he wants the joy to be full. Okay? Bear much fruit. This is my commandment. Here's a commandment. That you love one another as I have loved you. How did Jesus love us? He picked up his cross. He denied himself, being God's son, come from heaven, put himself into this sin, this despicable flesh. Okay, denied himself who he was. Wasn't thinking about his position in heaven and who he was as God's son. He came down here and was thinking about us when we didn't deserve it. Okay? That's how. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Okay? The way he loved us was he sacrificed as a servant for us. He came and gave himself over. He pushed us out of the way and took it for us. The same curse that was put on us in the book of Genesis as mankind, sin, he came and took it from us. Same curse. That's love. That's that greater love. That's that unconditional love. That's that agape right there. Okay. Now he goes on and says, greater love. There's that greater love. You all will do greater things than I do. Okay. You'll do greater than this right here. What he was saying earlier. Greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. There's no greater love than that. The unconditional love. And that is why the Greeks use the word agapo when they put the word love in the Bible. They never used any other one of the other of the four definitions. They only used agapo because it's the only way to describe God. And it only in a man's mind worldly sense describes it, because the depth of God's love is unbelievable. But that greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his servants. Deny himself, take up his cross, and perform an act of love. Okay? Servitude to those that are in need. Okay, that greater love. That's why he said love your enemies also, because that's what Jesus had to do. When he was getting spit on and beaten on the cross, he was God going through this. The creatures that he created were doing this to him, and he had to still love them and say, God, they don't even know what they're doing. Forgive them. That's that agape unconditional love. Now, you are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. So you're my friends if you do whatever I command you. If you do what I'm telling you to do, which is love one another. Henceforth I call you not servants. From this point I don't call you servants. For the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But I have called you friends, because for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. So now that I've told you everything and I've given you everything, now you're not just servants, you're friends now. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit. I've ordained you to go and bring forth fruit. And your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. Now he said earlier that the Holy Spirit will dwell with you forever. And now he says your fruit should remain. Yeah, it's going to remain. It's the fruits of the Spirit. If the Holy Spirit is going to be with you forever and you bear the fruits of the Spirit, it will remain. That whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. These things I command you. Once again, how many times is he going to keep saying this? These things I command you, that you love one another. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before you. If you were of the world would love his own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Now, that's very interesting, because there's a lot of people that glorify people because of their big names and their household names, and they, that the world glorifies. If the world receives you and loves you, it's because you are of the world. I mean, that's not hard to figure out. You're of the world and the world accepts you. But the world don't accept you if you're not of the world, because it can't understand you. The darkness cannot comprehend the light. The prince of the world is the devil. So anybody that is part of the world is being controlled by the prince of the world, the prince of darkness. And you can't comprehend the light. Now, but all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. They do this because they don't know God. That's why they do this. That's why they hate, because they don't know God. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sin. They have no covering for their sin. They have no excuse, basically. No pretense, no show, no outward showing, no fakeness, no pretentious behavior for their sins. Okay? They can't hide their sins anymore, is what he's telling you. What he's saying right there. They can't hide their sins now, because I've come and I've spoken unto them. They can't hide their sins. I've exposed them. They're being exposed right now. Okay? He that hateth me hateth my Father also. So if you hate me, you hate God also. So you are not of God if you hate Christ. And there's a lot of anti-Christ, Christ hating going on in the world today. If I had not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin. But now have they both seen and hated both me and my Father. So they've seen the works that I've done. And everybody likes to think that is miracles he's talking about. No. He's talking about that love that he has shown them. He did it among them, the works which none other man did. Okay, nobody came and was sinless like that but Jesus. They had not had sin. But now have they both seen and hated both me and the Father. So now they've seen it and they hate me and God. But that the word might be fulfilled that is written in their law, they hated me without a cause. So he's talking about the Israelites. He's talking about the Pharisees and Sadducees. Okay? Now, but when the Comforter is come, when the Holy Spirit is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, the Spirit of truth. So the Spirit of truth is the Holy Spirit, which proceeded from the Father, he shall testify of me. Okay? He comes from the Holy Spirit, comes from the Father, he proceeds from the Father, and he will testify of me. He will let you know, he will tell you of me. He will let you know who I am. Okay? And you also shall bear witness, because you have been with me from the beginning. And so he's talking, this is something directly for the apostles that he's talking there. You will bear witness of me because you have been with me from the beginning. So he's talking about the apostles right there. Let's move on to John chapter 16.